All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. On first down, Breeze. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
21. Ready. 36. 21.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
0-2.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
12.
Breeze to throw for it on 4th. He's going to look deep down. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Now Lewis. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Dion Lewis, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Gostkowski the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Cook following the penalty, and he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gone! 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 Watch it now, Barney!
On 1st and 10, Vance. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. William Hayes. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Vance. And the pressure gets to him again. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Throwing on 3rd and long. Vance. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Bruce Irvin in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Thomas. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Easy. 12. 21.
Breeze now on 1st down. Going underneath for Lewis. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin as the Lions are...
Here we go. Ready. Yellow lady. Got it. Two. Yes.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. He's going to go for a big play. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A big play there out of Cook. 48 yards on the ground. I guess that's what happens when you give the current NFL rushing leader that much room. And when you do, all you're doing is solidifying his standing at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to continue to get more and more yards. Good luck trying to chase him down. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw. Vance sliding it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Bruce Irvin in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year. On 4th down, Vance. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Shotgun now for Breeze. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game.
Hey, kill. Ready,
Now they'll run with Lewis. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions are able to grow their lead. Some quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Marquise Goodwin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
They run. This is Lewis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we
The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Vance is going to let this one go deep. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Ross Cockrell. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
Got it.
They'll start off with a give to Lewis. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Got it.
Off the toss, Lewis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. This is Lewis. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So we now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing on third and long. Vance. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Lucky 56.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And able to find Conley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
To throw on third down. Vance eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Chris Conley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 21. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And they'll go on the ground. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Breeze. And Walker with it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Back now here on EA Sports. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now a toss play to Lewis. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They try again with Lewis. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. And you mixed in a few of those, But most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Touchdown, Falcons! A great effort there. 101 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. That's caught. It's Malone. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here we go.
Again, it's Lewis. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
How many times do we hear from coaches, get north and south as a runner, especially in short yardage situations? I'd say 3rd and 1 counts. That didn't happen there.
Instead, they went backwards. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, you ready? Hey, easy. 12.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Hey, you ready? 11. 13. 11. Hey, 2.
Now Breeze got to have this one. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Amendola, the intended receiver.
Okay, it was fourth down, but you still had time here in the fourth quarter. Instead, they make the decision to go for it in their own side of the field, and this ball winds up getting intercepted.
Blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Robert Ayers in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, Vance. And he's going to go down again. Robert Ayers in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Time for a break. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. It'll be a 41-yard punt, giving 5 all to return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down.
Dion Lewis. He's at the 30, 20, 10, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there by Lewis, and even 70 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss, and he is going to lose yardage here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll try and pick it up with Lewis. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Dion Lewis in the final minute. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Bruce Irvin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly